Hey everybody, I'm Tim Mooney. I'm back with Shakespeare's Dirty Jokes, this time featuring 3 quick scenes from Twelfth Night, Act 3, Scenes 1, 2, and 3. I just came off of a summer of performing my latest show, Breakneck Twelfth Night, to a bunch of festivals, playing to some boisterous audiences along the way, and found myself amazed at the number of dirty jokes Shakespeare snuck into just about every scene. And so I came up with the idea for this series, because there's nothing that might get you more interested in Elizabethan drama than the notion that their minds were just as twisted as ours. There's a couple of quick dirty jokes in each of today's scenes, some not as dirty as others. Act 3, Scene 1 finds Viola meeting Feste in the garden, asking for an audience with Olivia. When Viola tips Feste, everybody tips Feste, assuming that Viola is a young man, he responds with wishes that Jove in his next commodity of air send thee a beard. While Viola graciously accepts the well wishes, she adds an aside that suggests that she is not looking forward to the same kind of beard that Feste seems to have meant. Olivia comes out to greet Viola, who she thinks is Cesario, and Viola notes that Olivia seems to think you are not what you are, perhaps meaning that Olivia ought to be responding as the true love of the Duke. Olivia counters that she thinks the same of Cesario. Viola responds, "Then think you right. I am not what I am." Clearly, Viola is sending the strongest possible implication to Olivia that she is not the man that Olivia takes her for, but a woman. Could she be any more obvious? Remember what I've been saying about dramatic irony? We, the audience, all know what Viola is saying. And yet Olivia still somehow cannot see it. So blindly distracted by her emotional attachment to Cesario, she can only respond with, "I wish you were what I would have you be." The more obvious the message, the funnier it is when Olivia completely misses the point. Given how blind Olivia is to seeing anything but Cesario's masculine attractiveness, even when Viola makes a pointed reference to her bosom, Olivia remains clueless. Scene 2's jokes are hardly dirty at all, but mostly propel the plot forward, setting up other dirty jokes to come. Just as Sir Andrew is about to give up on his courtship of Olivia, Toby convinces him to challenge Cesario to a duel. As Andrew goes off to write the challenge, Maria enters to announce that Malvolio has been gulled into taking the bait and is now wearing cross-gartered yellow stockings. Both the duel and the yellow stockings will form the premise for further sexual humor. Scene 3 finds Sebastian and Antonio newly arrived in town, and once again we cannot help notice just how much Antonio dotes on and even adores Sebastian. Given that elsewhere in this play, Shakespeare hints at jokes about bondage, such as when Toby offers to be Maria's bond slave, and the manner in which Malvolio binds his cross-gartered legs, it is at least worth considering that Shakespeare is implying something when Sebastian teases Antonio for making pleasure of his pains. And while Shakespeare doesn't seem to be making a direct joke of it, it is pretty clear that Antonio's desire for Sebastian, even lending him his purse should he feel the impulse to buy himself some toy that catches his eye, adds a further homosexual angle to the milieu of sexuality and gender confusion throughout. And so, with all of that in mind, here's Act 3, Scenes 1, 2, and 3 of Breakneck Twelfth Night. Act 3, Scene 1, Olivia's garden. Enter Viola encountering Feste. "Say thee, friend, art thou not the Lady Olivia's fool?" "No, indeed, sir. The Lady Olivia will keep no fool, sir, till she be married." "And indeed, I am not her fool, but her corrupter of words. Hold, there's expenses for thee. Now, Jove in his next commodity of air send thee a beard. By my troth, I'll tell thee I am almost sick for one, though I would not have it grow on my chin. Is thy lady within, sir? My lady is within, sir. I will construe her to you." Sir Toby and Sir Andrew pass through, noticing Olivia coming out to greet Cesario warmly. "Give me your hand, sir. What is thy name?" Cesario, fair princess, give me leave. I did send after your last visit a ring in chase of you, to force that on you in a shameful cunning which you knew none of yours. I prithee tell me what thou think'st of me, that you do think you are not what you are. If I think that, then I think the same of you. Then think you right. I am not what I am. I would you were what I would have you be. Cesario, by the roses of the spring, by maidhood, honor, truth in everything, no wit nor reason can my passion hide. By innocence I swear, and by my youth, I have one heart, one bosom, and one truth. Scene 2, inside Olivia's house. Enter Sir Toby and Sir Andrew. Sir Toby has been drinking on Sir Andrew's dime and convinces Andrew that Olivia's seeming interest in Cesario is only intended to make him jealous and that he must challenge the effeminate Cesario to a duel. Andrew goes off to write the challenge as Maria enters. If you desire the spleen and would laugh yourself into stitches, follow me. Yon gull is in yellow stockings and cross-gartered most villainously. He does smile his face into more lines than the new map of the Indies. I can hardly forbear hurling things at him. I know my lady will strike him. If she do, he'll smile and take it for a great favor. Scene 3, enter Sebastian and Antonio. I would not by my will have troubled you, but since you make your pleasure of your pains, I will no longer chide you. I could not stay behind. Me desire did spur me forth, and not all love to see you. These parts often prove rough and unhospitable. My kind Antonio, I can no other answer make but thanks. What's to do? Shall we satisfy our eyes with the things of renown in this city? Would you pardon me? I do not without danger walk these streets. Once in a sea fight against the Count, I did some service of such note that were I ta'en here, it would be answered. Do not then walk too open. Hold, here's my purse. The elephant is best to lodge. I will bespeak our diet while you beguile the time with viewing of the town. Why I your purse? Haply your eye shall light upon some toy you have desired to purchase. I'll be your purse bearer and leave you for an hour. So that's Act 3, Scenes 1, 2, and 3 of Breakneck Twelfth Night. Next week, Act 3, Scene 4 is going to bring the repeated references to Malvolio's cross-gartered yellow stockings, which we have heretofore only imagined, outrageously onto the stage and kind of in our face. Please hit like, subscribe, or ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of the jokes. Once more, I'm Tim Mooney with the Timothy Mooney Repertory Theater, and I bring these breakneck shows to theaters around the United States. I would love to come and perform for you and your school or group. You can also find my work online at timmooneyRep.com with video versions at breakneckshakespeare.com. Finally, if you see the value of getting students interested in Shakespeare by way of the naughty parts, you can support these many explainer videos and our performance tours at patreon.com/timmooneyRep. See you on the stage.